What's up, y'all? Kirabel here, or you can call me Kiro, KB, or even K for short. I'm one of the OG hustlers. So about me, where should I start? Okay, I'll give you guys a fun fact. I'm an African Australian, born to Ethiopian Eritrean parents. I was actually conceived in Egypt as my parents were escaping the war in the motherland. However, I was born in Melbourne, Australia. And looking back in time, obviously my parents were refugees. They couldn't speak a word of English when they came to Australia. And my dad, worked as a baker, my mum in the factory, and they really worked hard for every dollar, just to give a normal life for me and my siblings. And I guess this taught me the principle of, working really hard. And I'm a big believer that, hard work and patience are key ingredients for success.
So I'm JP, I'm the other guy behind the Hustler Squad, and I've been best mates with Kiro since probably about middle of high school, about 15 years ago. And I'm very similar to him in the sense of I was very opportunistic when it came to making money. And this kind of started back in high school. We both went to the same school, and I decided it'd be a great idea in year 9 or 10 to start bringing cold cans to school, cold soft drink cans, and sell them to people at an undercut price compared to the canteen. About $1, I'd bring them in, the canteen would sell them for about $1.50, and within a few months I'd have a few handful of people coming to my locker every single lunchtime, every single recess to buy a can. And eventually this grew and grew and grew, and I became known as the guy who used to sell cans at school. And after a while I made a little bit of pocket money out of it until one day somebody dobbed me in. Unfortunately, it didn't last forever. But essentially that opened my brain up to the thought of what's out there and kind of the alternative ways to make money. And the 9 to 5 didn't really ever appeal to me. I was never someone who was interested in that lifestyle or that kind of routine of that familiar thing every single day, or that location every single day. And as a result, that's then made me chase other things outside of that 9 to 5 idea. And essentially from that point on, not to say that that was the reason, but I've always had that mindset of wanting to chase that and be my own boss and being able to work on my own time schedule instead of being governed by other people and told what to do by other people. That's kind of how I viewed work and employment, and that sort of formed who I am as a person. So prior to the Hustler Squad being created, I finished high school in 2010. I studied for 5 years at university, became a fully qualified osteopath. I then practiced in the health industry for 4 years. That included periods as a strength coach, periods as a nutrition coach, and obviously as an osteopath. Throughout that time, I also gained all of my income, or majority of my income, through match betting. That was the kind of main income driver during that time. I traveled a lot, but throughout this time, despite the fact that I was very financially comfortable, I just knew that I had not discovered my passion, and there was kind of not a lot of meaning to what I was doing. Yes, I was making a lot of money, etc., but there was no purpose, there was no meaning, there was no goals. And that for me was a problem. And it wasn't until I found the Hustler Squad, and when me and Kiro had an idea one day during COVID, that we decided that we were going to do this and make this possible and turn this into a business and turn this into an education platform where we can help other people. And that essentially gave us a goal, a desire, a passion to be able to follow. And that's where we kind of created the Hustler Squad.
JP and I, being teenagers, we love our sports, and once you learn about sports betting, you're like, okay, I know my sports. Here's this thing called sports betting. Let's gamble some of our money, and we can make more money. And I think as your testosterone levels are building up, and you think you know more than you actually do, and we started getting into this cycle of betting on the Premier League, on Australian rules football, NFL, NBA, tennis, you name it, all the kind of sports we were interested in, just trying to make an extra buck. And I think we quickly came to the realization that you're not going to get rich off this. It's just a cycle. You may win a couple of bets, but then you're just going to use that money again to bet again and lose. So it just became this cycle. And we saw the years went on, and then I think eventually we had like a light bulb moment.
So the story behind how we kind of found match betting is a funny one. Obviously, as 18, 19, 20-year-olds, we were like every other male 19, 20-year-old who gets sucked into that gambling idea of trying to chase a quick fix Tats Lotto multi that's a big payout. It's going to fix all your financial issues overnight. And unfortunately, we learned the hard way that gambling doesn't work. You lose money, it affects your life, it's not sustainable, and it's really just crap. So one day I was sitting at my desk, and I still remember it very clearly, and I had a thought, and I was wondering, hang on, if I do that, I wonder what will happen if that happens. And from that point on, I rang up Kiro that day and I said, hey, man, I think I found something. He's like, nah, that sounds too good to be true, whatever. But basically, fast forward 5-6 years, and kind of during that time, we started doing these methods and evolving them and making them our own. We then realized that obviously this is legit and it's sustainable and it can be done properly. And it's funny how things evolve once you first find them, and how you can come out of a negative, obviously gambling and losing, and then create a positive out of it. That's essentially how we found the methods, and yeah, that's the story behind it.
And we figured out some of the techniques that we're teaching in the Hustle Squad, and we realized we can actually make risk-free money doing sports betting. Why are we doing this? We can enjoy the match and the game, and while making risk-free, guaranteed profits out of sports betting. And we then, for the next 3 to 7 years, made thousands of dollars, and it helped us gain financial freedom quicker than we anticipated. We went to Europe, traveled to Africa, and did a lot of things that we couldn't have done had we not found these techniques and strategies. And I think last year, 2020, we had another light bulb moment and thought, we both have our different kinds of stories and experiences, and we've both now obtained financial freedom. Hey, why not teach these to other people who are really willing to understand techniques and strategies and really want to be part of a community of people who want to hustle and make risk-free guaranteed money through betting, but then also use that money to go on and invest in things that they maybe couldn't have done had they not started this. So maybe buy an engagement ring for their partner, or go on a holiday with their family and friends, or buy a car or a house. And I think that was the whole sort of crux of why we created the Hustler. And we're really thankful that we came across these strategies and techniques, and now we're able to teach it to people who are like-minded and who want to hustle.
And the beauty of it is it's risk-free, and that's kind of why I went completely away from gambling. If I could make 500, 1,000, 2,000 a week without risking a single cent, why would you gamble? And that's how I viewed it from that point on. After the discovery of the methods and the evolution of these methods, gambling just didn't cross my mind anymore, and that was a great win. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate back to this feeling of discovering match betting themselves and going from losing money to then gaining money without that risk, and enjoying watching sport or horse racing or whatever it is without that, basically that negativity or possibility that you can lose your money. So the Hustler Squad and match betting has enabled me to obviously have more financial freedom. Now, along with that, the financial freedom obviously allows me to travel to places where I've always wanted to go. It's enabled me to buy the things I want, to have the flexibility to buy something for somebody else when I want to. But the main one for me is the time. Having more time, because I believe time is our greatest asset. Having more time and having the time to be able to go and do the things I want when I want on my own schedule, not be governed by somebody else, to go and spend time with the people that I love when I want, not have to go and work, etc., etc. That feeling of being able to be flexible is the most underrated feeling on the planet, in my opinion. And that's something that the Hustler Squad has enabled me to achieve and to experience over the last 5 to 6 years. Now, not only that, but my passion for helping people has been fueled, and seeing others, you can go and make as much money as you want on your own. And if there's no meaning or purpose to it, you don't get anywhere. So seeing other people enjoy and experience these kind of feelings of being able to see, hey, I just made $1,000 this week, and that's coming from our methods, that's very rewarding. And there's a lot of meaning to that, and there's a lot of satisfaction to that. And that's kind of what the Hustler Squad has brought to me and my life. That's the purpose. Helping others and seeing others achieve their goals is more rewarding than always just achieving yours.
That's a really good question. And I think the biggest thing the Hustle Squad has taught me is that, helping others is not a zero-sum game. And what I mean by that is, just because I'm helping somebody else achieve financial freedom doesn't mean somebody else is going to lose and not gain financial freedom. And I think, in life, we've been taught this, this prisoner's dilemma where, life is a zero-sum game where somebody else wins and somebody else has to lose. And that's not the truth. And what we're seeing Hustler is now, we have this 500 plus, strong community where everybody's winning. And I think there's no greater joy in helping others and seeing everybody win together, developing a like-minded community where everyone's just bound to ideas of each other because they want to see each other win. They want to see others achieve their financial goals or their life goals and, obtain that financial freedom. Because I think that's the end goal, is not to be rich and just keep making money, but to actually obtain wealth, which I believe is time and financial freedom. And I think what the Hustle Squad has taught us is that that's the most important thing in life, is being able to have wealth and have that freedom to do whatever you want, whenever you want. And seeing others also be able to achieve that is beyond our dreams. And we just hope that the community, the Hustle community, can keep on growing strong. And we hope this spreads like wildfire, because life is not a zero-sum game. Peace.